Hey everyone, it's Lee Goldstein, the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. My glasses are a little bit crooked this podcast. I want to welcome you to episode 35 of the podcast. Episode 35. Wow, thousands of people are watching it. Tell your friends, learn to trade, hear about our results. Anyway, podcast episode 35, a recap of the week July 25th through the 29th, the year 2022. One of our most exciting trading weeks. So sit back, let me show you what happened. All right, so let's briefly discuss the market opens. We take gold and oil almost every single day. Every now and then there might be some other trades that get in the way, or not get in the way, but take precedence is a better way to put it. But I would say that overall there's been very few stop outs. If you're in the room trading and watching, you know that there's rarely a stop out, maybe one a week on gold and oil. And the trades are running really well. The biggest issue we're struggling with, or that I'm personally struggling with, is stop management. What to do at your stop if your first target gets hit is always a very difficult concept. You can move it to break even, and then sometimes the price reverses and it takes you out of the trade before all the profit is available. Or sometimes it'll turn a winner into a loser. And then sometimes you'll be happy you didn't move the stop because you'll get the largest amount of profit available. So those are issues that you want to think about with all trades, but they seem to be particularly important with the market opens. Oil and gold. All right. We are practicing for fun the NQ Open, and I have to say that most of our NQ Open trades appear to be profitable. So I probably should start taking them. We could use the MNQ. Our setup is very forgiving with that 200 tick stop that we're always talking about. So, it's so hard for me not to take those trades. I may not be able to control myself next week. Stay tuned and find out. All right, so our first official trade of the week was CB Consumer Confidence with New Homes and Richmond Manufacturing. And fascinatingly enough, that's exactly the way it traded last month. It's pretty rare to get three news reports all trading together 2 months in a row. Well, I expected a bigger move than we got. We hit our first target, had like a $70 trade, so no big deal. Then it was our Google Microsoft trade, and it's definitely challenging, or can be challenging, to try to trade two earnings reports at the same time when those earning reports are being released at a similar time. And that's what happened with Google and Microsoft. We made a profit. It wasn't gigantic, but it was profitable. And because they released together, it was hard to make a lot of profit. But still, we made a couple of bucks on Google and Microsoft. The API report was one of the few trades all week that I lost money on. Unfortunately, I had to leave the moment the trade was over, and we missed our second trade. The API report has a very good possibility of a second trade based on the news results. Now, everybody knows, or should know, that it's a private report, and I get the news results from the calendar that I subscribe to, Financial Juice Pro. When I get those news results, I can let everyone know in the room, and then there usually is a report using a trade using those news results. If there's a big build, very often price will go short. If there's a lot less oil available, then often the price will go long. So, make your way into the API trade room. There's definitely more than one trade, and that second trade might sometimes be better than the first. Australia's CPI Tuesday night was not a good trade. It just reversed really quickly. We couldn't get out with a profit. But the rule of the trades this week was almost all the losers were really small, and almost all the winners were really big. That's why, that's a great policy to try to have. Obviously, make your winners as big as possible. I don't have to tell you that. That's just common sense. So then Wednesday we had core durable goods. And I'm not going to go into everything that we discussed in the trade room because it's pretty extensive. Suffice it to say, core durable goods has been difficult to test. We did not trade it live, but it's looking very good for a gold breakout. and then we'll follow that up next month. We'll see what we do with core durable goods. Crude oil inventories was a target 1 winner. So I was able to make 9 ticks on crude oil inventories. Then it reversed. The FOMC statement on Wednesday was a very nice winner. Almost everyone who traded it made money. It was a very, very tradable event. A lot of times when you have that event that everyone is watching that you think is going to be monstrous in the impact, very often it's just an average, everyday, regular event. And that's sort of what the FOMC was. And then we had Facebook earnings on Wednesday, and that was a nice profit. Facebook earnings, like Netflix, reversed after hitting our first 2 targets. So probably the biggest issue for earnings this quarter was they were all profitable, every trade, but a lot of them didn't move as far as they normally do. So it was very interesting to see them all profitable, and the moves were a little bit more muted. Sometimes we would get to the room and the NQ, in fact on Netflix, the NQ was really high. It had a very bullish day, and that might have dampened down the Netflix results. So either way, though, very, very good trade. And then on Thursday, we came in for advanced GDP. And advanced GDP, also a difficult event to test. Advanced GDP reversed so fast, it missed my second target by 2 ticks. And I lost $3.50 because I couldn't get out and protect my profit fast enough. That's how fast it reversed. Advanced GDP. That's a tough one to trade. But again, tiny loser. That was the whole concept that was following us all week. Tiny losers. Then we had natural gas storage. I don't even know if I can talk about that trade. If you want to be really honest about natural gas storage, that report probably should have a warning on the DMM that natural gas is very volatile and you could get put into a trade where you truly don't know what's going on because it may not be able to place your orders on the charts fast enough to send them to the broker. That's exactly what happened to me on natural gas, but I will say this. Our new software was able to keep me safe so that my entry was correct and in the direction of the news. But the report exploded so fast, I couldn't find my targets. My stop disappeared. The price went up, 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 and up. And when I got out, I was up over $1,000. It was an amazing trade. But I will say it was a radical, crazy trade that doesn't happen very often. But I thank the software for helping to get me in on the right side of the trade. Then the 7-year note auction had no response. It had a weird early move, and we wound up canceling a little bit early, but ultimately it was an official canceled trade, no reaction. And then Amazon and Intel. I was expecting Intel to release first. It didn't happen the way I expected, and I didn't move fast enough to put myself into the Amazon trade. Some room members made over $500 on Amazon. It was a good move, but I was thinking Intel was going to come first. It didn't quite go that way, and I missed Amazon. So all of our earnings trades were profitable. I did miss Amazon because of what I was expecting to happen. And then, of course, Apple earnings that night, an awesome $890 winner. Canada GDP was a tiny stop out, but we made almost half of it back on the core PCE price, personal income, personal spending. We have a fantastic new setup for that new report. Everyone got a template, a trade template for that report in the trade room. Another good reason why you might come into the trade room. We do supply some very, very important templates. And then our final trade of the day was a winner, Revised University of Michigan. It wasn't gigantic, but it hit our first target, and then the price reversed. We got taken out with a small profit on the day, and all in all, it was a fantastic week. We made over $2,500, a couple of really awesome trades, and this brings up one final thing. Normally we never sell in the podcast, but our July sale is ending Sunday at midnight, and I'd like to give everybody an opportunity to get in for 6 months with us. Keep in mind we made $2,500, more than $2,500 this week. It was an awesome week to trade with us. Let me show you the offer. Why not join with us for 6 months, just $749? We had multiple trades that made more than that this week. You can make it in one good trade. You can pay for the whole subscription. It's 6 months of software, trade room, daily reports, www.jobbsoftware.com. We'd love for you to join with us. Sunday at midnight is your last chance. Prices are going up. Thanks for watching the podcast. I can't believe we're on episode 35. I'll see everyone in the trade room next week. The jobs report. Looking forward to it. See you later.